Start by taking a look at this number 1. We have to write down the y-intercept of the graph. So again, our y-intercept, 0 some y value. So when we plug in 0, 0 squared, plus 3 times 0, minus 4, well that's negative 4. So our y-intercept is 0 and negative 4. To find the x-intercepts, well if we factor this, it factors into x plus 4 and x minus 1. So our x-intercepts are x equals negative 4 and x equals 1. Axis of symmetry, we know that that's the opposite of b over 2a. So let's see, we have negative 3 over 2 times 1. So it is negative 3 over 2. And the x-coordinate of our vertex, well that's the same thing. Our x-coordinate is negative 3 over 2. And it doesn't ask this, but to find our y, we would plug in negative 3 over 2. And then we would have our vertex, because right now we just have the x value of it. So let's see if we can take a look at the second one. I'll see if I can bring this back up since it just quit on me. So number 2 here, when we take a look at the second one, another graph, it's an intercept form here. We're asked to find the p and q. Well, those are just our intercepts. So we'd have negative 5 and 1. Next, we have to find our a value. So let's start with a. We know y equals a. Well, we know in parentheses we'd have plus 5 and x minus 1 because those are our intercepts. And now we can take this other coordinate and plug it in. 10 equals a. When y is 10, x is 0 plus 5, 0 minus 1. So let's see, we have 5 times negative 1. So we have 10 equals negative 5a. So a would be negative 2. And then write in standard form. So I might write this up here. So we have the equation y equals negative 2x plus 5 times x minus 1. Well, now we have to multiply it out. So this is negative 2x minus 10 times x minus 1. Distribute this out, negative 2x squared plus 2x minus 10x plus 10. And so that is y equals negative 2x squared minus 8x plus 10. And then for the last one on this page, write down the coordinates of the vertex. Well, this is vertex form, so it would be negative 3 and negative 6. And then we have to find the value of a. Well, when x is 1, y is 2, so we can plug that in. 2 equals a. 1 plus 3 squared minus 6. Well, 1 plus 3 is 4. 4 squared is 16. So we have 16a minus 6. And if we solve this, 8 equals 16a. So we end up with a equaling 1/2. So then we have to find the value of f of 3. Well, our equation now is 1/2 x plus 3 squared minus 6. If we plug in 3, we have 1/2 3 plus 3 squared minus 6. Well, this is 6 squared, 36. Half is 18, minus 6 is 12. So let's take a look at this next page here. The equation, let's quick make sure this is still recording. I think it's still recording. All right. So it has one real root. So what we know is that b squared minus 4ac has to be 0. So our b value is the 2k squared minus 4 times 1 times 3 equals 0. So let's see, that would be 4k squared minus 12 equals 0. Add 12. So 4k squared equals 12, divide by 4. So we have k squared equals 3, so k would be plus or minus the square root of 3. And this last one, write it in standard form. Well, we're given our intercepts. So in intercept form, we know in parentheses we have x plus 4 and x minus 6. And then we can use this other coordinate here. When y is negative 12, we can solve for our a because we know x is 2. So let's see, this is 6 and negative 4. So we have negative 24a. So a is 1/2. Plug that in, we have 1/2 x plus 4, x minus 6, and we can distribute. So we have 1/2 x plus 2 times x minus 6, excuse me. So we have 1/2 x squared minus 3x, yeah, that's minus 3x, plus 2x minus 12. So we have 1/2 x squared minus x minus 12 in our standard form.